Hey worship leader, I have a question for you. How are your rehearsals? Are they organized and smooth and everyone is happy and encouraged? In my experience, rehearsals can either be a delight or they can be a huge disappointment. With busy schedules in the life of a worship leader and really anybody, staying organized and staying on track can be a real challenge. I am not an expert at running rehearsals, but I have learned a few lessons along the way that I want to share with you, so if you're interested, stick around. Hey, welcome back. If we've never met, my name is Jimmy Cooper, and I'm the creator of Hey Worship Leader, which is a resource to help worship leaders bring greater health to themselves and to their worship ministry. To find out more information about what Hey Worship Leader provides, you can go to heyworshipleader.com right now. I provide free worship workshops where we discuss all things worship leading. It's very practical, hands-on sessions where we can hang out with other worship leaders, discuss things that we all struggle with, and help encourage each other. I also provide mentor coaching for worship leaders. This is where I come alongside churches and worship leaders for a season to walk them through areas of worship leading. I provide accountability, motivation, prayer, and support for them and their worship ministry. If you would like more information about that, please email me. Go to the website, sign up. There's a survey on there where you can see if mentor coaching is right for you. I would love to hear from you, and I would love to work with you. But today's video is about running smooth rehearsals. Like I said, no one likes a bad rehearsal. It can be demotivating and just plain not helpful. But with the right knowledge, we can create rehearsal environments that are encouraging and helpful for our team members. Now, I created a checklist, a rehearsal checklist that I use each week as I'm preparing for rehearsal. Now, in my context, we actually have a midweek rehearsal plus a quick run through on Sunday mornings as we're getting ready. And so I use this checklist to keep me on track, to help my brain stay organized, because if you're like me, I got a million things going through my head and sometimes I drop the ball, which is why I created this checklist for myself, and I thought it'd be very valuable for you. So if you stick to the end, I really want to share this with you. But right now, I want to walk you through my process of how I run rehearsal, and hopefully it'll be valuable to you. Hey, if you haven't already, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. If you feel like at any time this content is valuable for you, please like the video. That would help me out a lot. And if you know other people who would benefit from this content, please feel free to share it. I want to help as many people as I can. So let's dig into this. I like breaking things up into sections because I'm very compartmentalized. The first thing I want to do for a midweek rehearsal or any rehearsal is to prepare, because there's nothing worse than to jump into a rehearsal and realize that you're not prepared. I've done it. I'm guilty. Now, as we're preparing, what are we thinking through to prepare a good rehearsal? So the first thing you want to do as you're preparing for a rehearsal is make sure that the stage is clean and organized. There's nothing worse than coming in and seeing cables everywhere, having dirty carpet, nothing's organized. It doesn't seem like when your volunteers come in that you even were expecting company. And so get the stage ready, make it welcoming. That way people aren't put off as soon as they come in. The second thing our team does is we run a line check. We make sure that everything is ready to go so they can just come in, plug in, and play. Most people on our team are volunteers, so they're coming from work, they're bringing in their instruments from the cold or the rain, and the last thing they want to do is plug in and have to worry about something going wrong. And so you need to do a line check and make sure everything is going right. Make sure all the cables for the in-ears are hooked up, ready to go. Make sure all the direct boxes are plugged in. Make sure your keyboard, drums are in tune. Everything that you can do to prepare for your volunteers coming in to give them a good rehearsal experience is going to benefit you in the long run. The next thing we do is distribute any necessary resources. A lot of worship leaders will go ahead and print off chord charts for their whole team or lyrics. I don't do this all the time unless there's a really difficult song, because I also provide all this stuff on Planning Center. Now, what I'm not covering today in this video is how I resource the team before rehearsal starts. Right now, I'm just talking about rehearsal. That'll be another video. So after you've prepared for rehearsal, you need to run the rehearsal. People have shown up, they're there, they're ready to go. As a worship leader, you need to make sure that you have a plan of action of what you're going to accomplish in that rehearsal. Have an order of service, if you will, for your rehearsal. One of the most important things you can do is always start on time. Always start on time. This respects people's time and it trains them that you value their time. And the next and probably the most important thing to do, and the reason I want to bring it up is because I also struggle. Sometimes I jump right into rehearsal and I forget to do this one thing, but that is to pray. Pray for your team. Pray for the moment that night that you guys will be rehearsing. Sometimes I'll even do a devotional, challenge them to think about the upcoming weekend and the themes and the lyrics that we're singing so that it can penetrate our hearts, and then hopefully it'll pour out in our playing. After the amen is said, before we play anything, we talk briefly about the agenda of the evening. And you may be thinking, Jimmy, that's a lot of stuff you got to do before you even start playing. And I know, but these things are very important, because if you let people know where we're going in rehearsal, like what we're going to be covering, people don't have to wonder, they don't have to guess. Over communication is key. And then we get to play. We do a quick sound check to set our monitor levels. Now, in our context, we use in-ears, and so everybody has their own personal mixer. And so we play for like a minute, just something really easy so everybody can EQ themselves, set levels appropriately. In your context, if you don't have in-ears, but you still have floor wedges or other kinds of monitors, it would still be a good practice to do this so people feel comfortable, that they can hear themselves, hear their voices, and make sure their instruments are coming through. This makes everyone feel comfortable and confident to move forward. Then we start running through the songs, but we don't jump into any song. We usually pick the easiest song first. What this does is it builds momentum in rehearsal. People are able to play something they're very familiar with, they don't have to learn anything new, and you kind of get that under your belt, so then you can move forward. Then once we've done the easiest song, the one we know really well, we move on to either the most difficult song or the new song that's that week. Now at our church, we do a new song around once a month, and so it's a good practice right after you've done something easy to jump into something that's new or difficult in case it doesn't work out like you've planned. And then another thing that I make sure that we do is run each song at least twice. Even if you ran the song flawlessly the first time, it's always a good idea to run it again to make sure the first time wasn't a fluke and to make sure everyone knows exactly what they're doing. Now, congratulations, you made it through all the songs. If there's time at our midweek rehearsal, we will run through transitions, but I usually save that for Sunday morning. But so you're done, you've run through everything, everybody knows what to do. What do you do next? Give your team things that they can work on, even if they're just little things. And even if they did it really well in rehearsal, remind them the things that are the most important to you and for the service coming up. This could be bass lines or lead lines on the electric guitar or the piano, or even vocal harmonies, vocal parts that are very important for the service coming up that weekend. And this is one of the most important things to me. Just like I started on time at the beginning, I end on time at the end with a word of encouragement and prayer, thanking them for their service. It sounds like a military thing. Thanking them for serving the church with their gifts and reminding them when they need to show up on Sunday morning. So that's it. If you follow these steps, this is going to help you run smooth rehearsals with intentionality, with communication, and your volunteers will show up prepared and ready to go. They won't be frustrated, they won't be guessing what's expected of them, and you will be even more prepared for the weekend. But before you go, I do want to share with you some tips for leading your team well while applying these practices. Remember that you're the leader, so lead well. Make sure to always speak in ways that are encouraging and uplifting. Don't talk down to anyone, it does no good. Another pet peeve of mine that I've seen in myself, especially when I was younger, and I've seen in other worship leaders, is using passive-aggressive language to communicate what they want. Since you're the leader, just lead. Say exactly what you want, tell people what you expect of them, and they will appreciate that. And no matter where you go, you're always gonna have difficult people, so treat difficult people like Jesus. Love them anyways, encourage them anyways. Don't let tough people and cranky people turn you into a tough, cranky person yourself. At the end of the day, you can't control anyone, you can't make anybody be prepared, you can't make people show up on time, you can't make people worship, but what you can do is pray for them. So pray for them, pray for your team, pray for the weekend coming up, that things will run smoothly, and that at the end of the day, that this rehearsal is just getting ready to lead people, to point people to Jesus, which is the most important thing. So that's it, but don't go anywhere because I have a free resource I want to give you. I made a rehearsal checklist. Like I said, I made this for myself, but I want to give it to you because I think it's very valuable to have these items in front of you so that you can remember to stay on track, to communicate well, and run a smooth rehearsal. All you need to do is go to the link that's in the description. It will take you to heyworshipleader.com, and it will take you to the page where you can download this free PDF. I hope this content in this video was very valuable to you. If it is, please like the video. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. It would help me out. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest content that I put out through Hey Worship Leader, you can hit the notification bell and it'll let you know whenever I post something new. That's all I have for today. I will see you in the next video.